Hi there. Today I want to address the elephant on the internet, and that's the global COVID-19 pandemic. It's raising so many questions for business owners, not least of which is how should we promote our businesses? Should we continue as with business as usual, or should we stop marketing altogether? And while I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer, I thought I'd put this video together with a few ideas which I hope could help steer how you can promote your business in a crisis. In times of crisis, business owners have a dilemma. They have to balance the need to be seen to be sensitive with the need to continue trading in any way they can. In any crisis, such as earthquakes, pandemics, and volcanoes, people express extreme opinions and react in extreme ways. Particularly on social media, you'll see all kinds of reactions to business marketing at the moment. Don't let this sway you too much, and don't react, most importantly. And if you do react with a little generosity. We need to remember who we serve. We don't serve, as a business, everyone. We serve our customers and our audience, and that's really our primary mission. Our secondary mission is to support our communities, and that's something that we normally do through our tax contributions. But again, in times of crisis, people try and extend that into other ways, and maybe there are some creative ways that you can do that. It's our responsibility to be as helpful as we can be, whilst not putting our business in undue danger. Our ability to continue contributing to the local economy, or global economy, is as important for everyone as the ability of the key worker to go and work in a hospital or empty the garbage. Your business is really important, and it's your job to do everything you can to safeguard it. And that includes marketing. Even if you get a negative reaction from some people, don't forget that your purpose at times of crisis is A, to continue serving your customers, and B, to continue serving the economy. So with that in mind, what can we do in times of crisis to promote our businesses effectively? Well, the first general principle is to be as helpful as possible. Be as free as you can with support and advice to those you might be able to help most. But importantly, don't do that to the detriment of your core operations, unless you're sitting on a large pile of cash. Also, don't compare your ability to help more widely in the community with the ability of other businesses. They may be sitting on much bigger reserves than you, and they may also have decided to use the crisis as a marketing event. Do not be tempted to do that, because it will come back to bite you. So the most important thing is help in the more wide community to the extent that you can, but not to the detriment of your own business. So what can we do to promote our businesses in times of crisis? Well, these are three ideas which would probably apply at any time. But in a crisis, it's important to pare things back to the bare essentials, the few things that have the biggest impact. So my first tip is content. You should consume far, far less content. The world is an overwhelming and noisy place. Stay as informed as you need to be, but don't descend into becoming a consumer. Resources might become tighter. Your ability to continue doing the things that you used to do, like networking, advertising, or that kind of thing, will probably be diminished. Your ability to create content doesn't depend on having large resources. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't need to be disrupted. So turn it up. Content reaches beyond social isolation, and it works while you don't. It overcomes geography and allows you to connect with the people who need to hear what you have to say right now. Creating good content, either written, in video, or in audio, allows you to continue investing in your business, and it allows you to create a legacy foundation in your business that means when the dust settles, you're in a much better position to adapt to any recovery or exploit any recovery, or recover more quickly, most importantly. My second idea for marketing in a crisis is to go big on idea generation. One of the surest routes to survival in any crisis is your own creativity. And a lot of people think they're not creative. And while I get that, I completely disagree. Creativity can be trained. A crisis demands creativity. You're going to face challenges and situations that you never faced before. And starting a few daily practices to build your creative muscle and your idea generation muscle will, I promise you, give you some very surprising results. In James Altucher's book, Choose Yourself, he speaks about his daily practices. And while I urge you to read the whole book, one daily practice in particular I've found really, really useful with customers in helping them build that creative muscle. So what you can do is go to the supermarket and just buy a simple spiral-bound notebook, a pocket notebook, cheap and cheerful. Honestly, it should cost very little money. And we're going to use that notebook for one thing. And what I'd like you to do is every day write 10 ideas in this notebook. It doesn't matter what the ideas are, what their topic is, you choose. It could be 10 ideas for making your garden look nicer, 10 ideas for things you could do to make your dog healthier. It actually doesn't matter what these ideas are. What you're doing is signaling to the brain that you value ideas. It's quite easy to jot down 2 or 3 ideas, but once you get past 4 or 5, you'll find you're starting to stretch, and you have to be creative to continue this list. So every day, 10 ideas. Now, this daily practice might sound simple, but it quickly stimulates the brain and the unconscious into understanding that you value ideas. And what you'll find is when you need ideas, they come more easily. So my third tip for promoting your business during a crisis is simply to reassess your level of courage. Crisis demands courage, and when times are easy, we become complacent. It's easy to coast, and in a crisis, what worked before doesn't work anymore, or sometimes it just isn't available to you anymore. And if you want to survive, you're going to need to do things you didn't do before. Now, there's a formula I see at work in digital marketing very often, and that's simply that your returns go up and your costs go down in direct proportion to your willingness to be personally visible. Now, for a small number of people, that's very, very easy. For the majority of people, it triggers fear. Professional rescuers and those who are more accustomed to extreme situations know that fear can be managed through training and experience. And you need to bring this attitude to your business marketing. And I guess become accustomed to the idea of stretching and living on the edge of your comfort zone more often. So I said there were 3 tips for promoting in a crisis, but I actually have a bonus 4th tip for you. And that's to take your learning in hand. In times of crisis, you need knowledge. And we're in for tough times ahead. And while you may have been really competent at getting your business to where it is, don't be complacent enough to think that what got you here will continue to support you. I'd argue that your ability to connect with and engage with your audience and your customers just became a survival skill, not a marketing skill. So assuming you have all the answers right now might just become fatal for your business. So in conclusion, we need to rethink our business models. Absolutely. But we also need to rethink how we're connecting with our audience and our customers. The world is so noisy and everybody's so busy watching the world burn that it takes a lot to get them to turn their heads. You might object to a lot of what I've described by saying, well, my business is really boring. There's nothing to say. And if that's how you feel, you may just be in the wrong business. Or you may just need to start working on your idea generation muscle. We become complacent to the glamour in our own business. We see pictures from inside other people's businesses and other people's locations, and we can't help but be interested. But for some reason, none of us think that applies to us and our businesses and our locations. It makes no sense at all. You need to start working out what you can share. You need to connect with your creativity and your courage. And this is what will unlock your ability to become a beacon in this current crisis. So everything I've described might sound like it's time consuming. So are eating, sleeping, and going to the bathroom. That's how normal this stuff needs to be for you if you want your business to survive and to continue being able to make a contribution to the world and to your community and to your own livelihood through the current crisis. So this is only one perspective, and this advice is true of marketing at any time and will help in any crisis, from a pandemic right through to a bad cash flow month. I know emotions about marketing are high at the moment, so if you violently disagree with me, just take a deep breath before you let the whole world know, and perhaps feel free to reach out to me directly and discuss it. Thanks again for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please do like the video. If you would be interested in videos like this again in future, then you would probably do well to subscribe. And if you want a notification, which I'm sure you do, then simply click on the bell next to the notification and you'll receive a nice pop-up on your mobile phone or your browser every time I launch a new video, which will generally be once a week. If you have questions or comments about this video and what I've been speaking about, then please pop them in the comments below and we can continue the conversation there.